Well, afternoon boys and girls. Well, there's a bit of a southeasterly breeze. They predict that's going to be too much. So I planned to go this morning on my own. But when I woke up this morning, there was so much fog I couldn't see the hand in front of my face. I thought that ain't a very good idea on my own, so I went back to bed. Well, they predicted 18 to 20 mile an hour southeasterly this afternoon. So I thought that's a no-go, but that's nowhere what it's like. It's looking loads better. And now getting ready to launch. Yeah, ready when you are. Now trying to purposely blast towards the shore. I shouldn't have slowed it down so much. There's still a lot of tide running. The old boy need to get a wiggle on. Come really gently to the shore, I've got to get away quickly before that wind pushes me back on the beach. You can roll with too much momentum and can't stop. You have to get your welly. What? Yeah, you have to get your welly wet today. Yeah. Caught his boat. There we go. There we go. Well, as we're going for the low water, we're running up to the southern and then we'll drift back with the tide. The thing here, we come for the ebb in the afternoon because in the ebb tide there's colour in the water. If you go on the flood, the colour drop out and these herring like colour. In sheer water you don't catch herring. Well, you don't round here. That's why a lot of people ask me, is it any good for feathers after herring? I always say no. Because when that water's sheer, you don't get no herring. So now you just heading a mile or two to the south and then we'll shoot the gear. Easy peasy. Well, lately we've been shooting the fleet off just where the fish are. The fish hunting in the beach. We've been shooting at least a fleet 350 metres off the beach before we're putting the gear in. But now the weather's started to change, it's warm up, the water's shearing up, and if you look out today, that's dirty within a fleet at the beach. Further off on that, and that goes sheer. so we can't fish exactly where we want to go, but there's more chance of us getting fish closer in the dirty water than there is running off and getting that sheer water and catching nothing. Well, we're soon now going to get ready to shoot. Just come up to the old chap's favourite mark. There's a little gable end on the hotel on the Yarmouth seafront. We're just going to go up to that and I'll turn round. Got a lot of tide on this corner. I thought I was revving it too hard, but hardly moving, are we? I think I can see some bloke playing bagpipes on the dunes. That's a bit different. I can imagine that on one man in his boat up in Scotland, but Yarmouth isn't really a bagpipe playing area, is it? Look at that, you got a bloke playing bagpipe. What is that on about? Yeah, he's probably got on the beach, which missus wouldn't let him do it indoors. Are bagpipes made like a sheep's stomach or something?
Yeah, they are. No, they're not good big slow,
Cable in there, isn't it? Ready when you are. Well, we're shooting us later in the afternoon, late afternoon, so we're going to shoot 10 nets. There haven't been a lot of fish lately, so we did think about shooting 2 fleets, but probably is a risk being up all bloody night. I'm getting too old for that. Oh, look, a bit of fish here on the sounder. Obviously, even though it's a low water, I'm shooting the wrong way. Obviously, the corner we just come round, that's really deep. It's a 40-foot deep corner. That tide wrapped round it so fast, so we've got to shoot the wrong way. So there's some bloke shouting on the beach. I wonder what he's on about. Obviously, shouting his dog, I think. A lot of tide here. I'm shooting a hell of an angle on the plotter. Not that much there, do it? And obviously being a safe easterly, as soon as we've shot these, we've got to go on the inside end and hang on. Like we're going really slowly, we're only shooting at 4.5 knots. A lot of time we shoot at 6 or 7 now, so that's why, but a bit of a lumping and chop on the water. Take it easier in case anything happens, you know how it is. Are you getting there now, are you? We won't ease it too much, not in this wind, that'll push us back when it. We'll have to hang on the other end anyway, won't we? I've done a hell of an angle really, more than you normally do. Just to combat that tide in that corner. You're around there like bloody. What's that? Islands. I slowed it right down. And that's done. Even when you may have done it a million times, I always look at the floor to make sure he ain't got the rooting around his foot. Well, now you get back on the inside. Well, there's a few herring coming through there. They don't look very thick. There's just a trickle. That'll be nice. This water started shearing up. That's all the time when these herring move. Like if we can get last few little trickles through here, that'll be plenty good enough. There's some more herring there now coming out the bottom and lifting up in the water as that tide started to ease. It's amazing that them herring all bury up in the sand. You wouldn't believe it'd do it, would you? Well, it's obvious where all this dirty water's coming from. There's loads of bladderwrack everywhere. I don't know whether you can see it. There's loads of bladderwrack. And that didn't grow out here. That's all out of the river, that is. That all grow on the piles in the river. So obviously, on the ebb, the water's coming out of the river in Braden. All that mud and crap and filth, and that's what's making the water coloured around here. Obviously in the winter that's muddy all the time, but this time of year it starts warming up and things are changing. That's only dirty because of the old Braden emptying out. Well, we haven't seen hardly anything on the fish finder really, just dribs and drabs. I'm just going to have a look at the end. There hasn't been a lot here. I'm not overly convinced we're going to get a lot. Oh, what's that? There's one. There's one, Aaron. There's a lot though, is it? Could this be the end of the heron for the year? I thought I heard a heron. I mean a seal. Breathing. This one's all got red butt, red fins. The old chap that's out of Beckles Hospital. There's a lot, is there? Swing the wrong way. Number one, number three. A lot there, is there? What speed are we doing now? We're going along 0.8 knots. Still quite a lot of tide there. Even the tides might be finished now in the book, we're still going to make 0.7, 0.8 knots, so that ain't entirely finished. Let's hope they lift right on the end of that tide. Look at that, look at a few heron now lifting out the bottom. They're 20 foot deep, so they're below our gear, and there's a few at 15 feet. So hopefully, it's now right at the end of the tide, look hardly drifting. So hopefully now we'll lift up, we'll get a few. They look a nice thick mark there, don't they? So we can hope. We'll just have another little look on the inside end, don't have anything there. One what weren't here before. That's swimming for the flood. I personally think them fish don't want to swim on the ebb, and they're starting to lift, but they're not fully lifting because they want the flood. The only problem is when that flood come through, the colour's going to drop out of the water. And then they won't lift anyway, so you're a bit damned if you do, damned if you don't. Oh, another one. Don't look at many, is there? Yeah. As far as we hauled last time. Last time we had 3, now we had 2. Still got a lot of fish there, is there? Come on, you little buggers, that's what we like to see. They're about 14 foot deep they are. We can get them ones. Let's hope there's a few more of them all the way through. We ain't greedy, you want like half a dozen boxes would be nice. Well, it's looking about time to start hauling. The old man wiping his snoz full shot. I got a funny feeling we ain't going to get a lot. But you don't know till you try, do you? Come on, you little buggers, lift. Yeah, fishy, fishy, fishy. Another one. Another one. Oi! Another one. Look at that, it's 3! Doesn't seem like it, they just lift on the first of that float. Go on, you little buggers. I can hear one kicking. I mean, feel it kicking when you hear it. There it is. Well, look at your shed, you got loads of spools of mono for repairing in there. £18, what of it? It is because that's clear. Yeah. Look at that. There's a selected one. Slightly better, so I selected. Got the select ones in the bucket, are you?
See how it goes.
Another 2! Oh, the one in the water! If they keep coming like this, we might have a bucket full. Oh, 2 again!
2 in the water. Playing a little fight.
Well, ain't a lot here, is there? Come on.
It's getting better.
Always drop one, one lost one. The old man might be eagle eye with a net. And ones that fall out. He ain't doing his job very well, is he? Wrapped up there. Yeah. Double, treble, quadruple swan. Here they come. There's a few. at this rate, will you? You get very fat with this amount, are we? I'm already fat, but can't blame it on the watercolour. The watercolour's alright, isn't it? You can see one of our furry little mates, but not seen him for a while. That's a better one. What's that? Christ, look at that! I wasn't expecting that. Bloody whiting just come aboard. It's a bloody great whiting, look at it. You don't get many whiting that big anymore. Kiss up for luck. Bloody great whiting, isn't it? Cracking one, that is. I thought it was going to be a trout or something then. I was getting excited. He's having a quick dive, isn't he?
Beach,
Is he even near the beach?
seems near the beach. It's more near the beach than it's up here.
I don't know. What in it, is there? There's some better ones. The last 3 or 4 were nice ones. There's a lot in it, is there? Another better one. Getting up a bit. Doesn't seem so many, but there seem to be better quality ones. Oh, a better one. Barely pull better ones through. These little skinny ones actually you can swim through. you done it, man? Last one. Is it? Can't see you all. 1, 2, 3. The old man's gagging to see if the last one's a pilchard and make him wait. Oh yeah, that's a pilchard. Look at that, them big old scales, they look different than big old little pilchards, don't they? Let's get another bucket, shall we? Have a pilchard and put a big whiting in it too. Pilchard and whiting bucket. So I can't believe how big that whiting is. Bloody great whiting. What have we got to run so close to us for? There you can see it. That's a wind farm cat. We're right near the beach. But no, he's got to run right tight to us and give us a little swell. What a plonker. Ava Sophie. Thank you very much, mate. Lovely. There must be a different skipper before, because last year that Ava Sophie come right tight to us and he eased it right down, but obviously today they didn't give a monkey's poo pipe. What have they got to come that close and that close in for? Grade A Winkelins, that's what they are. He was right last year, he come tight to us when we were netting, weren't he? He slowed it right down. But he did today, probably didn't skip on it. Ava Sophie or Sophia, I don't know. I couldn't quite see. And now we're going to get most of the swell. Hold on. Well, that's a swell from him because he come through next to us. So many fish, there's a lot better quality ones amongst them. Better one as well. Another pilchard! Hey! Or pilchard or sardine. every handful, eh? Starting to thicken up, hasn't he?
Need to. The kill is a few.
Thickened up a bit.
Don't frighten them in.
Oh, it's horse mackerel. Tiny one, it might keep it, is it?
Yeah.
Is the limit?
6 inches on then, so it is.
That's the well, that's the first horse mackerel of the year. That's for certain. No warmer's now warming up. Water's warming up, definitely. What do you want to keep that little one for?
I've got another little mackerel what I eat with it.
Well, I forgot that mackerel we had early on, didn't we? They definitely thickening up, didn't they? Whiting fell out. The old chap can't have tea for his tea now. We touched it, but it's a slippery little bugger. Definitely thickened up, haven't they? That's a lovely herring. Best herring of the trip. Another cracking herring. Another better one. That's weird. That's weird why these herring didn't lift in it. Over there, deep. They never quite lifted, did he? Probably this amount. That's it's justified driving all the way over the market with them, isn't it? What's that? That one. There's quite a good percentage of better ones amongst them.
As they say, you get better fish on here.
Isn't it enough for Wizard? They've definitely thickened up though, haven't they? There's a few bits and pieces deep on the sounder. 20 odd foot. Three at once, like buses. Four. Four buses. Definitely seemed to be on the first of that flood, didn't they, you think? Maybe you'd get him on the flood in the dark. More early in the morning, on daybreak.
What shear's got now?
He said the water was really sheer up there, though. The water was sheer as hell.
Same here, isn't it?
What's that?
Same here,
Do you reckon so? Why is that? No, I'm talking about he went for the Eversworn, did he? Yeah. He went for the Eversworn, didn't he? He picked mate out at 4:15.
That's the flood, is it?
I'm getting that way, wasn't it? Again, he's probably, look at this, he's probably got the same sort of mountains here, isn't he? We did the water's ever so sheer up there, but ain't that sheer here, is it? It's like to come a good bit, isn't it? Yeah. Little fast boat coming along there. Is that- Oh no, that's like that rib. I don't know if they're doing them. What they do is they boot out Lowestoft, that little rib what do seal trips and have a look around here and have a look at this and wildlife trips. That could be that in it. That like a rib that's bouncing so much, isn't it?
And they got something they use it on the wind farm.
All they got on the wind farm is that always at that boat what where the wheels come down and drive up the wind farm, I don't know. That sound like diesel engines, not petrol. I go that funny to that wind farm boat. What? It's got them wheels and drive up the bank. That doesn't sound like April, do it? Apparently when they remove them windmills, they've got to cut them 3 or 4 metres below the surface. No, they do it easy. When they do them offshore pipelines and oil pipelines, they cut them off between 10 and 20,000 feet below the surface. I'm not talking about the surface of the water, I'm talking about the surface of the bottom. They cut them off in concrete and cement. There's so much money in your oil business, isn't it? That page I've developed the gear, doesn't it? We're halfway through. Definitely picked up a bit, don't they? Oh, look at that on there! Them fish are off a bit, isn't they? That way you can see it. They look plenty of fish there now, don't they? Look, that's all deep, 40, 30, 20. They look plenty of fish there. Pilchard, high swimmer. Definitely a lot of pocket fish in the water, isn't there? There's definitely more fish now, isn't there? They want the flood, don't they? You think? You want deeper nets, didn't you? They go so shallow near the beach, you can't. Those places in the good, is it? bit like deadliest catch, innit? Don't think you're going to get nothing at last minute, you start getting a food. Format is always the same, it's always doom and gloom, innit? Then the last minute they get your food crab. Yeah. Those that are getting one, got to put them selecting all the other ones I don't. Thick. I think it's worth shooting these back in the beach.
Here?
Yeah. I think that's it. There doesn't seem many on there now, on the plotter now, do there? There was a minute ago, there weren't there?
Somewhere in that corner, it was a
There's one of these and shooting the other feet, the other side.
It won't be clean all night.
Oh, we ain't going to get that many, are we? Come on. We've got a box, haven't we?
What did you say you ought to do?
Like one of these, and or whatever, splitting these, whatever, and go and shoot another. One of these, and go and shoot another fleet the other side. Think it's worth it?
These in here?
Yeah.
We'll go in.
Let's see.
Yeah, there.
Yeah, but I think so we'll get these in and get another fleet shot. See, look, they're thickened up lovely now. Probably just a little strong. Oh, you definitely want that flood tide, didn't you? What do you think? What do you think? I don't think we have that many, do you? Still a nice lot here, though. Look at that, boys and girls, lovely lot. Nothing want to fit in here, are they? What do you think we're going to have enough here, really? Or not? There's that many, is there?
Monday.
I think there's hardly any fish get now on the bottom, did it? I think there's some coming that corner. They're nice and thick now. Quite sheer, isn't it now? It's like Richmond when you said that. That water's sheared up like hell now, so I don't know they'll still be there, but they're swimming quite hard. So we'll nip back round Yarmouth Point and see it and shoot the other fleet until we can get a few more. Pretty nice, isn't it? Really got 3 or 4 boxes on the market for Monday, didn't you? No, colour pack there. Last one, isn't it? No, it's cracking great white. Never used to normally get white this time of year, do you?
Chasing spots.
I don't know. Got any sprats there? What was that heron fry? We need to get a wiggle on now. Get these aboard. Get the engine down and get back round the corner ASAP. So it might just be the first of this flood they're lifting on. We'll soon find out. We'll see them on the plotter. We're now going to go stick some more in. That's now a race for us to get back to the north and shoot while these fish are still swimming, because we've gone round the corner here, and as we got round the corner the colours dropped out. Well, heron didn't like that, so we're now going to the north as quick as we can, and we're going to look on the plot and see if them fish are still there. Race for the heron. Well, we're motored to near Ruffy Row Water Shoot. Let's just ease it down, give the old boy a lift and see if there's any heron here. Yeah, that's what I'll do. The mariner's still here. Will look like it. Yellow mariner's still here. Feel like we might get it through the end, innit? You know them old chittle runners. You ready to shoot? Lads, the inside has started to get away. I mean to be long, we're now going to shoot right across the tide. Ready when you are. And I just gone straight directly out. There's only be a short drift. That wind picked up a bit. Gone more easterly, hasn't it? Race to get back up here and get them back over. Look at that's Williams just gone off. Or not? Can't tell. Try and look a mile on a hazy day with the wind in your eye, it's easy. But getting there, isn't it? Last two nets, leave it there. Last net, innit? We're not going to hang on the end, are we? We've got blown on what we got to do. I don't know if we missed them, I don't look a lot of fish here now. No. I don't know if we missed them. Been a lot showing on the plotter now, that's for certain. You can't believe it, this end off Caister, the water's like mud. Got round to Yarmouth, that sheared right up. But obviously as the wind's changed, it's gone straight easterly now, so we're going to go and hang on the inside. Well, it's been fun and games since I shot that gear away. The wind started blowing easterly, a good bloody breeze. What old bugger what we done. Now it's eased off on like a mill pond. But we have cleaned 3.5 boxes now of herring at that fleet we just run, and hopefully there'll be a few fish in this fleet. That's a bit of a gamble really, we don't know if there will or not, but there's been a few bits and pieces. Herring doesn't look a lot now, but there's been a few bits and pieces coming through, but the herring have been mainly in one spot and we've drifted through it again, but they don't look a lot now, so hopefully they've picked up herring on that mark where he drifted over. There'll be a few fish now, but that's like getting 7 o'clock at night, so we're going to have to run these, whatever we do. Well, we've drifted well up here, that's Britannia Pier. We drifted well up here, and that's the old wheel, and I don't know if you can see the outline of that harbour there. That old ship in that harbour, over there, is that tanker what got hit. Well, let's see if that gamble paid off and there's a few herring here. Yeah. But that's what you can do, you just put that. Put the end on the ground, let it go beside it. I shouldn't say that, because if I say anything about the old chap, he should do this, he should do that, I get loads of messages going, listen to your father. And then I tell him that, and he squeal like a little pig and laugh and everything now. Listen to your father. So now I've got to haul off the other side now. Let's see how this goes. Oh, still showing fish there. It's nice to have that other fleet clean. Now, drum roll. Did the gamble pay off or not, or did we shoot for nothing and got all up the Yarmouth? Oh, oh, oh. Is it food? Ain't the hood, you mate, there's a food here. We've got to run them because we've drifted too further up there. We'll be round the harbour where we're not allowed to be. There's not that many, is there? Oh yeah. I forgot this is in your 5 score and that little shallow one got on the end. So there might be a few in it. Yeah, look at this, there might be a few, mightn't there? Spin up the old Aaron. Hey! The old man's favourite of pilchards, you get £3 a kilo for them. Let's see what the deep net, 6 score net bring. If there's any more. Yeah, there's a few more here. Look at quite your sticks around that week, you. But still, that was worth putting them back over again. Rolling. There isn't so many now, is there? Yeah. I'm herring up first week, we're off a bit. Yeah. They're going to be marked when they were swimming though, were they? These look like they've been there a while, these are well dead, isn't they? Well, we've got a couple of head torches. Surprised they get the time fly. What's the name of that ship in the harbour? I don't know what it's called again, that. That's a container ship what got hit off Grimsby in it. Oh, that's the tanker, is it? We got the tanker from that fiasco off Grimsby in Great Yarmouth harbour here. No one wanted it. I'll try and film it in a bit, but that's a bit of a hazy, you know. Oh, it's cool. Not delicate, is it? Like a fuel full of really like aviation fuel, what burnt off instead of like crude, what kill everything. The container ship had all noodles. Noodles? What basically like 2 mil plastic pellets. What they use as a raw material in the plastic mould business. Also, they put these plastic noodles in a like rotary spinning or hot baking machine that melt the plastic and injection mould it. That's what they are. Doesn't look that big, that tank, when you look at it from here, do it?
Stena Immaculate.
Yeah. Point here, we might have to pull that one. It's got a bit thicker and easier. I'm glad that wind died off, that would have been awkward. That, wouldn't it? I'll get on that all now. None of yours. Ah. Turn it over it now. That's better. Back. There's still fish on there now on the thing. They're fishing like all get flooded. Seen them, didn't they? Look at that. Off a bit further. Yeah. Oh, isn't it? I've got them 2 spotlights in the back of my van, make it easier to reverse into little lean to, doesn't it? What's that? Oh, you can work in anywhere, are you? Seal just off there, you can go in the gear. I've got a belly full already. Thicker now, isn't he? these, won't we? That way. Good things thing. Yeah. There's enough of it. Oh, it's lovely to get a nice little trout, yeah. Yeah. That way. Some whitings amongst them, not many, one or two. Never known whiting to be here so late. April. Yeah, seals, they gorge themselves and then puke up. One's just done it over there, and as soon as they puke in the water, gulls are everywhere, hooving it all up. Lovely little cretins. But herring are quite rich and the seals just gorge and gorge and gorge. But they ain't like catching herring wild, they're just laying there in a netting nest, they can eat and eat and eat. More a bit further off, ain't they? Again, what you do, you set in tight to that point on the edge, on the flood, don't you? That's a good way now, isn't it? I've got 2 head torches in my bag, so no problem. On the beach. Do your lights work on your tractors, the real ones? Those are 2 ponds then, isn't there? Yeah, I'll change from LED ones, aren't they? Also, that umbilical above your door needs replacing, that's all worn cables apart, isn't it? Whiting? Bad whiting, is it? It's a lovely crack of whiting. Bloody April, what's ever going on? Well, that is that. Well, there it is. The tanker was causing all the faff. The Stena Immaculate, sitting in Great Yarmouth harbour there. Basically, everyone's saying about, oh, we keep bringing this and that to Great Yarmouth harbour. I think the main reason why they brought it to Yarmouth, to the outer harbour, because anything go wrong they can contain it, because it's only a little tiny outer harbour. If they took that into Grimsby or Hull and that sunk in the river, that would block a lot of marine traffic. Well, at Yarmouth we don't get a lot anymore, so if they just stick that in the outer harbour, if that sink or anything, they can soon put a barrier across the mouth and close it off. So they've done it for safety reasons. And to be honest, that bring a few quid to the town. That ain't a bad thing in my book, because Yarmouth is a bit of a industry's gone downhill rapidly the last few years. So good on them. If we can make money off it, why not? Well, that ain't too bad. There's a few around out need cleaning. I reckon, well, we'll clean 3.5 boxes, so I reckon that's another 3.5, 4 boxes there. We'll see how it go. Look, the old sun's now going down. It's lovely, doesn't it? Bye bye, Stena Immaculate, or Rusty and Burn. There's the old pleasure beach. Look at that. Yarmouth looking right at night time, doesn't it? Not too bad at all. That look far better from the sea than even land. They can change the old boys on the old engine, that's the only thing. Over 3 mile and that's it really. That's been a good trip. Got a lot more than we thought. When we first looked, we didn't get any nothing. We got a few fish. There's the old silver slipper amusements, the mint, the flamingo and all the other ones used to hang around with when we were kids. Obviously now we're punching against the tide, it's only about 20 yards off. Because look, we're very close to the beach. Close to the beach you go, less tide, so we're about 20, 30 yards off. Just, you see on the plotter. Ever so tight to the beach. Got the less tide. Look, there's Yarmouth Point out in front of us. Look how close we are. Well, you can certainly see there where the shallow water is going to deeper water. It's like someone's lined it here to show this deeper stuff that ripple up like hell. We're in about 13 foot of water here, and it could have 40 foot. It just fall away. Look at that. Well, that's the old boy just winching the boat on the trailer. Couple of buffs on a bit of rope, didn't even have to hold it. Done it all herself. Oh, actually look really light in the photo. Look over there, that's the old moon coming up. There's a couple of anglers here and each side of us on the beach fishing. Don't know how well they're done. There you go. But what a lovely evening. Cool, we shot that second fleet, that flew like a bugger. Went a bit lumpy and choppy and now it's found away lovely. That's a relief. Nothing worse than hauling your guts out when it's blowing and lumping you about. Couldn't ask for a better evening. Well, we've started cleaning around the old man's. We've done 2 nets so far. And there didn't seem to be so many in these was in the previous fleet. We've probably got about a box out of 2 nets, so half a box a net. Ain't too bad, at least we've been up all night. There is one perk to come around the parents. Mother's just cooked us a burger and some chips. Oh, I don't normally have burger and chips, but when you're cold and it's at night time and you're hungry, oh, bloody lovely. She's a good old girl. She even has a cup of tea too. I'll have that in a minute. Well, it's now 10 o'clock at night and we're still going. We ain't got much more to go. So we cleaned 4 boxes there nearly. Another 4 boxes there. I think we've got about another 2 nets to go. This is the last 2 nets. And a good old girl, Mother's been out again. Just bought me a scone and another cup of tea. The old man's already drunk his. I've been catching up on my YouTube bits and pieces, so I better drink the cup of tea and eat the scone and carry on giving the old boy a hand. But as they say at his age, if you don't use it, you lose it. Well, it's past midnight. We just put our 10 boxes in the chill, iced up, ready to go for the auction Monday morning. And obviously there's a few pilchards in there, about a dozen pilchards in there too. And that's it, boys and girls. All sorted. playing around with heron at midnight. We must be daft as a brush, ain't we? But there you go, that's life. Okay then, thanks for watching, hope you enjoy it. Catch you later, bye!